What's up, my people? You're not tuned in to me TV. Now, we gonna bring you all the stories about the stories that we need to bring you stories about. You feel me? So that's what we gonna do. Some stories might be good, some stories might be tragic, but hey man, that's how these stories go. I don't make it up. Now we getting into it. You feel me? So before, look, man, bang the like button, bang that subscribe button. You see them on the screen. Yeah, them right there. Hit the like and subscribe, man. Hit that right there. Now we about to get started with our story. Yo, 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 you already know I'm back with another one with Me TV 1.0. If you new to the channel, hit that sub and show some love. It's free. I promise you it's free. You heard me? And for all my supporters, all of my subscribers that's been here through the journey, I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all. And if y'all care, like and share. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about the video, man. I ain't gonna hold you no longer, but let's start with our story. You heard me? As you can see on the picture, we have an individual goes by the name of Stephen Coleman. He's originally from New Orleans, Louisiana, but he had recently at this time, this happened initially in 2017. He had been living in Baytown trying to get his life back together. He was a up and coming rapper, and I'm thinking by them saying that he was trying to get his life back together, I'm thinking that he had some run-ins in New Orleans, either in the streets or with the judicial system. So he was with this young lady, and it didn't say how long they was together, but at the time all of this happened, he was 32 and she was 35. And her name is Sierra Sutton. She was the mother of his 6-year-old little girl. Now, it wasn't documented or said if he had any other kids, but it was very well documented that he was a good father and he was there for his daughter, and their relationship seemed to be all going all good. It was times where he praised his woman, Miss Courtney Sutton, for being by his side, sticking through him. You know how them posts be on Instagram when you just showing your love, appreciation, and affection. He had done that many a times. So on the outside looking in, he trying to start his career up in rap. Well, he trying to continue his career in rap with the mother of his kid. And all of a sudden, out the blue, which really it wasn't no warning signs other than just regular arguments. And this situation was an argument they probably had many times before in similarity, although they might be speaking of something different. It probably been the same similarities as other arguments, right? So I say that to say that Mr. Coleman, Mr. Stephen Coleman, did not take the Miss Sierra Sutton serious in this argument. But let me digress for a second and tell y'all about this. Mr. Stephen Coleman said that if anything was to happen to him, he told it to a group of his friends, partners, homeboys, whatever you want to call it. If he was to ever go missing or something was ever to happen to him, Miss Sierra Sutton would be the reason. And for an individual, a male, to say this, right, she must have said all kind of stuff to him for him to even pass this on and take this serious enough to even tell his friends. Well, when a person tell you something like that and you feel a need to tell other individuals that if my safety or if I'm not around, look at this individual. Now, a lot of times you get that from the male to the woman perspective. You don't never get it from the woman to the male. But it's 2024. In this situation, it was 2017. Anybody is capable of doing anything. And after this said argument, after this particular said argument, she was still furious. She was still irate, and I guess she still wanted to argue some more. Some people just have that thing in them where they just so They're used to trauma. They're used to arguments. They're used to that. So Mr. Stephen Coleman, decided to go to sleep. Like I said before, a lot of similarities to this argument was like, like the past argument. So he didn't see nothing too big about it. So as Mr. Coleman sleep, mind you, his daughter is in the other room. As Mr. Coleman sleep, she fired into his head 3 times with a gun. Fired in his head 3 times with a gun. So after she fired in his head 3 times with a gun, she tried to move his body. Of course, this guy looked like he weighs a good 200 plus pounds. So she was unsuccessful in that nature. So what did she do? She gets a machete and a knife, according to the reports, and hack his body up. Yes, I said what I said. She hacked his body up into pieces, put some of the pieces in his dumpster at his house in his apartment complex, and over 6 spots in the city that she discarded of this man's body. And during the investigation, she was sketchy. She came off to seem as if she was cooperative, and every time it was time for her to give a statement or talk about the situation with the cops or the police, she never showed up. So this is what got her on the radar anyway, because initially when she called, she was already on the radar because the story just didn't add up. So she didn't take the time to go talk to the police to let them clear her. So as all of this is going on, they find a piece of Mr. Coleman's torso. Yes, a piece of Mr. Coleman's torso in the landfill. And from this point, the investigation got real hot, real heated, to the point that she was no longer cooperating. She was no longer cooperating, and due to the forensics and everything like that, they was able to identify the torso was Mr. Stephen Coleman. Now you got to think about how gruesome this is for you to get into an argument with a woman, and she do this. Not only does she do this, she chops the body up. And not only does she chops the body up, she does all of this while her daughter with Mr. Coleman, which is his daughter as well, is in the other room. This is a prime example how your emotions and feelings will get you into a situation that you ruin your whole life. Thinking with your feelings and emotion is irrational. At one point in time, you could say, hey, this is a woman thing. But this is no longer a woman thing, because you see men acting just as irate and erratic as women. So you can no longer put this on a particular sex. But one thing I will say, man, this is a tragic situation. You have to monitor and be careful of the people that you be with. You got to monitor and be careful of the things that they say out of their mouth, because sometimes they really mean what they say. And I ain't going to hold y'all no longer. For everybody who stayed this long into the video, I appreciate it, man. Hit that sub, man. Like and share if you care. You already know. But I'll be back with another one on Me TV 1.0. You already know. And just a quick little pause, man. I appreciate every supporter, man. I appreciate every like. I appreciate every second that y'all watch this, man. I appreciate it, man. Hit that sub and help your boy keep going up. You'll know it's all love. You heard?
Is too far.
It has been 5 years since Stephen Coleman was shot and killed in Chambers County. His family says after 2 documentaries and now a planned third, their wounds from this horrific murder can never fully heal. Our Brandon Walker joins us now live in the newsroom. And Brandon, we are hearing from his mother tonight.
And Keith, Corla Coleman says while those productions have profiled her son's case, no one contacted her or her family about anything. That, on top of what she says are untruths in each production, leave her mourning her son's loss, just as if it just happened, without room for closure.
Corla Coleman's emotional injuries.
He was rebuilding his future in the wake of tragedy.
Insulted ever more the day she says she saw a documentary about her son's death on TV.
They tried to really paint my son as a horrible person.
Stephen Coleman was her son. This dumpster, one of several in which authorities found parts of his body, killed by his then-girlfriend, 35-year-old Sierra Sutton, in August of 2017.
Torso was found in a Chambers County landfill on August 22nd.
KPRC2 was on the case, including Sutton's arrest. The details so grisly they appear made for TV.
Reenacting with a machete and a knife. Blood everywhere.
Several documentaries, says the Coleman family, each with errors.
And then there was another one. That one was called Storm of Betrayal. The next one is Raining Blood.
Where does it stop?
Community activist Brother Derek Muhammad says there's another doc about Coleman in the works.
I hear screaming coming from your apartment.
Their concern follows similar criticism surrounding the popular Netflix series on serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer.
And this whole subgenre of true crime, they call it true crime, has become a multi-billion-dollar business.
A business, Stephen Coleman family cries, is built on pain.
5 years in August. I don't miss a day, a month, go and bring flowers. I had to bury what they found.
Brother Muhammad says VH1 has a program with production of an episode about Coleman's death underway. They're calling for them to back down, but legally there isn't much they can do. Lisa.
Certainly understand why it's so upsetting to them.